Good morning, it's Sally here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. So today we're going to be working on part 2 of our What is Slow Stitch project. I just want to say first of all, thank you so much for all the positive responses and everything. I've had such a great response to this project, and I think it struck a chord with quite a few people who are just starting out and wanting to just build up their stitch repertoire and their confidence and everything. So I'm so happy that you're enjoying this. And over on the Facebook group, I've been looking through all of your stitcheries, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. They're so different as well. I've just gone for a really plain design on mine, but you've just gone above and beyond with your beautiful designs, like Laurie's lace. She's added lots of lace to hers to make the textures and everything. And one that stood out to me was Anne's turmeric dyed fabric as well. That was absolutely gorgeous. So I just wanted to say thank you for all your positive responses and everything. I'm really enjoying this, so I hope you are too still. There are a few more YouTubers that are joining in as well. So Bits Christy is joining in. If you want to see more, nip on over to her channel. I will put all the links down at the bottom when I finish recording. Christine from Create and Craft, Christine is also doing a tiny little miniature version in a little tin. It's absolutely adorable. And also Velita from Velita's Creative Designs is joining in as well. I don't think I'm aware of any other YouTubers, but if you are a YouTuber and you're joining in, let me know and I'll put your link underneath. Anyway, so we're going to be doing some more stitches now. I did say that we would be doing a couple of stitches in this episode, and I think now that you've learnt the basic, I don't see why you can't start building up your repertoire and getting those stitches in. So we're going to be I'm just going to move things out just a little bit so I've got a little bit of space. We're going to be doing page 2 now. If you haven't done a pocket and you don't want to see your back, what you can do is you can do your stitchery on this side and sew the pages together. If you don't want to see your back, I want to see my back because I love the backs as well, and also I've got a pocket in mine, so I'm going to be just stitching on the front page. But if you don't want to see your backs, you can always stitch on this side and then sew them together so that you've got pages where you don't see the back, and it'll just be one page rather than 2 pages. But I am going to be seeing my back. So this is the page that I'm using, the second page, and we're going to be doing a couple of stitches. We're going to be doing just a straight stitch, which is kind of like a variation of the running stitch, and we're going to be doing a cross stitch. Now, to keep things interested, I don't want to just go across. This was just like a taster starter where we kind of did. I've done this plain. A lot of people haven't done theirs plain. They've done, Velita's is lovely. She's done all rows of different threads, and then on the back, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and have a look. She's tied the strands of all the different threads on it, so she can remember what thread she's used and feel the textures and everything on hers. Absolutely wonderful. So yeah, we're going to be doing a straight stitch and a cross stitch, and we're also going to start introducing fabrics now, just to make things a little bit more interesting. So I have just got some scraps here. That's an old shirt, an old piece of quilt, and what else have I got? I've got that piece there. Don't know what it's from. It just came like that. You can also use some laces, some doilies, a little bit of lace there. What else have I got? That's another piece of thin fabric. I think that's it really for we've got ribbon. You can put pop ribbon on as well. I'm just going to pop those out the way because we're not going to be using those today. I've put buttons there, maybe even a button. Let's see how we go. So I've not designed anything. This is just going to be free form, as slow stitching kind of is. I will need a needle, and I thought I had it. Yeah, there's my needle. So this is just my my preferred needle, which is a cotton. Oh, why is my cotton darner number 5? Sorry, is that right? Yeah, that's. Hang on, my mind has gone blank. Why has my mind gone blank? That's what it is. Yes. Don't know why I'm doubting myself. Cotton darner number 5. That's just my preferred one. And if we go for some thicker ones, then it'll be the chenille number 22. All right, pop that there for the minute. And I'm just going to select some fabrics. Just some scraps of fabrics. I don't want anything too uniform. So I'm just going to do that and a bit of that. There, look at that. That's all frayed. I'm going to have a little bit of, I've got this one already cut off. This is a piece of shirting. Let's just put a, don't know whether it's the cold, but my scissors are a bit stiff. There you go, bit of that, and bit of that. They just put on any old how, okay? So I'm going to leave them like that. There's nothing wrong with that design at all. What I will do is, I've got some pins. You could pin them on. You don't have to. You can just lay them on whenever you're ready to stitch in that area, which might be a better idea because then you're not going to get stabbed by pins. But let's see these pins here. Pins. I didn't mention pins last time, and I did have it on my, you know, on my. Let's just grab these. I did have pins on here, and I don't think I mentioned the pins, did I? As in your supplies, pins are always useful. I use two types of pins. These ones here, they're by Clover, and they're applique pins. But I've also got a tin of longer. I think they're just, are they just like dressmakers pins? They're a little bit longer. They're all the same length. They're two different lengths there. I don't know whether you can see that or not. But there, let's just see. I don't know what kind of size they are, to be honest. Is it by the inch or centimetre? I'm not too sure. They're, oh, right, okay. Well, those are 3 centimetres and they're 3.5. Something's magnetic. They're magnetic. That one isn't magnetic. Is that right? Or is it just my ruler? A bit silly, wasn't it? Okay, anyway. I don't know what was magnetic. Something was magnetic there. It's probably not the ruler because these aren't picking up. Or maybe it's not the pick. I don't know. Right. So, yes, I'm going to use these tiny pins. Oh, these are about 1 inch. So we're picking them all up. Could do with them being magnetic, that might be helpful. Right. Not all of them, no, there's another little one there. Okay, so, oh, I've got one there as well. Right. So yes, pins. So the dressmaker pins are a little bit longer, or the applique pins. When you're working with small bits of pieces of fabric like we are for slow stitching, these are quite handy. And the brand I've got here are Clover. I think you probably get others, I don't know, but they come in a handy little package pot. So, right, so anyway, that's my fabric that I'm going to be using. And we're going to start off with grabbing some thread. So I've got my thread just over here. I'm just going to have a look, see what I've got. That's quite nice blue. I've got navy. What else have I got? That's quite nice as well, that gold. Oh, why do I look at that? I've used it already. That's why I like it. Keep going back to it. It keeps catching my eye. Right, let's go for a blue then. We'll go for a brightish blue to start with. This is the 6 strand again. You can use whatever you like though. And I'm going to use 2 strands again. So just gently pull them out. Like that. There we go, all ready to sew. So again, I'm just going to start in this. There was a chat going on in the chat as well, wasn't there, about people sewing their pieces to their clothing. I've gone and pinned my piece to my book, but there we go. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start with a straight stitch. Now, it is very similar to a running stitch, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and go across, and it's a line down. I think it makes a great pattern, this. So like that, just one stitch, and then I'm going to come up a tiny bit away from where I went down. This is just to save thread, because what you can do, there you go, like that, and they're just going to be close together. So what you can do is you can go back down where you came from. Let me show you, and just do that motion all the time. But what happens is you're getting a long strand on the back, whereas if you go over from where you came up, where you came down, and come up there, you're not wasting as much thread. So again, if you are worried about the straightness of your lines, I'm not. I don't care if they go a little bit wonky. You can draw lines. It's up to you. Can you see my stitches? They aren't straight, but can you see you can either get a long one at the back or you can get short ones at the back, and that means that you're saving a little bit of thread. So again, you can use the stab method. Try not to pull too tight, like I just did then. So you can use the stab method, or what you can do is, again, is it where you're using your stacked method, but you can only stack one at a time, because you can only do that, and then you're going down to the bottom and up a little way. And these can be as close together or as wide apart as you like. I'm spacing mine a tiny little bit apart, because that's the pattern that I want. And my stitches are about 4 millimeters, let's guess, 4 or 5 millimeters, which I don't know what that is in. That's about oh, I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch, something like that. I'm just going to go across, and when we reach one of the fabrics that I've pinned on, we'll just go straight across it. Right, my stitches are getting a little bit further apart now, so I just want to rein that in a little bit. So I'm just going to, and they seem to be getting a little bit smaller as well, so I just need to get back in a little bit of, make this one a little bit bigger. May be able to hear the clock in the background. It's a very quiet house today because everyone's at work or at college. So after all the hustle and bustle of Christmas, it's calmed right down now. So what better time just to sit and relax and do a little bit of slow stitching. And these kind of projects are kind of like the basis of, you know, any slow projects that you take on. And it's remembering your stitches and how to attach your fabrics, and just enjoying the process of stitching. It's a cold day here. I think it was -3 when I looked earlier. It's a very frosty day. We've got ice all over the cars. And the grass is speckled with white, a white dusting of frost. It's very quiet out there as well. I can't see any birds, no wildlife at all at the moment. They're all tucked in their nests. Or have migrated, most of them have migrated, I think, to warmer climes. I know it's beautifully warm in Australia at the moment. I think it's about, is it about 28, 30, something like that. I know we Brits would probably be moaning that's too hot for us. We're never happy. We'll moan either way, whether it's too hot or too cold. Gives you a sharp wake up when you go stab yourself with a needle. Not too relaxing when you do that. I'm saying there's no wildlife. I've just seen a sparrow in the garden. I can just look out, straight out there. That's where the garden is. So again, I'm just staying a little bit away from the edge of my fabric, and I've probably gone a little bit too close actually to the edge, but it should be okay. So you can still fit quite a lot of stitches on doing this. So it's a good way to practice your needle control and your stitches. Practice your stitching. So again, I'm not going to go right to the edge. I think, in fact, I'm going to stop there. Okay, so I'm not going to take unthread my needle or anything, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another set. Leave a tiny little gap. And start again. I'm not keeping my stitches in line. I'm just going to try and just ignore the bottom row, because I don't want them to be in line with, you can make them in line with these, but this one I don't want to make in line with these. I don't know whether I'm going to catch this red fabric on this one round, or I think I might actually. It looks like I am. So just holding my fabric down a little bit, just so that I can see. I think the next stitch might, no, that one will. It's only taking the very end, so it might not catch that, but it will catch the next one, I should think. Yeah. So just to catch it, I'm just going to do the stab stitch on this one, just so that I can make sure that I'm getting the end. So just, in fact, it's so, I've not caught it. It doesn't matter, I'll catch it on the next one. I did wonder whether it would go through on this one or not. Some of you have also been naming your stitches as well, which is great. For those of you who haven't and don't want to or are at a loss what to do, I will be doing words and letters in a future episode, so don't worry if you're seeing other people name theirs, which is great. It doesn't matter, but if you haven't yet, or you might not want to, but I will be doing words and letters so that we can do naming of our stitches through the book if you want to, but that's entirely up to you. But we will have a page for words and letters as well anyway. I think my threads come on threaded. I don't know what's happened there, but they did start out the same length, but look at that. They're not the same length anymore. That can go there. Just looking to see. Oh, no, that's how it goes on the back. It's just like a running stitch really, isn't it? Alright, so a couple more strands of thread. Oh, not right, I'm just going to undo that one. Don't know what I was thinking there. I need to finish it off, don't I? Right. Okay, because I've cut it short, I've not got a lot to play with there. Just going to see what I can do. Right, I'm going to go through one of the threads, and then I can just get it through the loop, I think. There. I'm just going to try one more time, see if I can get it through. If you can't, what you can do is when you get your loop, rather than try and get that point through, you're not going to be able to get it through, you can get your back end of your needle through. You might just have to unthread your needle there, and then you can get your thread tight there. I'll show you that one again if you didn't quite catch it. Right. So off we go again. So it's a really simple stitch this is, but I just like the effect it gives you when you do them in rows like this. It's just creating, creating pattern. Okay, we're coming to another piece of fabric. I don't think I'm going to be able to get anything on this one. It'll be on the next one. And I'm going to do 3 rows of this stitch before we go on to the same stitch, but in a different way. Because once you've learned a few stitches, you can, adapt them to different patterns. Just remember, keep your thread pull it through quite gently, and then it's not going to pull. Nearly at the end, don't go too far towards that, that frayed edge. So I'm going to stop there, but I'm going to come down. I'm going to do one more row of this. So just a little gap again. A tiny bit away. But like I say, if you don't want to do this, you can always do the stab stitch, which is just an up-down movement. Like that. Right, so we're coming up to the fabric. If you haven't already, because you may have already come up to yours because of the way you've laid your fabric. But just don't panic. Just pretend it's just one fabric. Just ignore, you know, like just ignore it and just, if you know what I mean, just pretend it's all one fabric and it's just the same fabric that you're going through and you're just following along. But what's happening is your stitches are attaching it to your fabric now, and it's going to be part of your design. There, we've done the first bit of fabric, and that's a pliqué. Yeah, still happy. I've got a few wonky stitches. Not bothered. Doesn't matter. It all adds to the charm of the piece, I think. If it was all uniform, it would have no character. That's what hand stitching is all about, isn't it? No two stitches are the same. I've got a few thread pulls here. I'm just going to ignore them. If they get caught up, they get caught up. If they don't, and that, you know, they're in the way, then they can get cut off. But we'll just see if they get caught up. I'm not sure whether they will or not. Right, we're coming up to the next fabric. So again, just pretend it's part of your fabric. Don't worry too much. I'm just coming, right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stop there and change my thread because I'm going to have problems otherwise. Right, so through and through your knot. If your thread is very short, you can still get a knot, but sometimes rather than turn your needle round and go through the loop because you need more thread, you can take the back end of your needle through instead, and it doesn't need as much thread to make the knot. So I'll just show you again. Through, get your loop and just pop the back of your needle where your eye is, through and loop, and just use your finger to make sure you're not secure. So we should have 2 strands left because we've used two lots of 2 before, so just these ones here. And knot it. So start off again here, and we're now appliquing our fabric on. So just carry on with your stitches as normal. Like I say, if you're at all concerned about keeping a straight line, just draw it on either lightly with pencil, or if you've got a friction pen, one of these. They come in all different colours. It's a heat erasable, so after you've drawn it, you can iron your piece and it will just disappear. So they're really handy. Actually, I just had another thought. Christine from Create and Craft at Christine was doing a video the other day, and she was doing her diary, and she was doing a cover for her diary, and she was doing some straight stitches, and she actually used washi tape. So if you've got washi tape, you could stick washi tape on, and that will give you a guiding line as well. So if you want to see how she did it, go and watch her video. It's one of her, and I think she's got 2 for her 2025 diary project book, and I think it's in the first one that she shows you how she uses the washi tape to make straight lines as a guide, as a guide to make straight lines. And that's Create and Craft with Christine. She is absolutely brimming with brilliant ideas. Right, so that is our 3 lines. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to stay with this for now, and what I thought we would do is bring in a shape. So I'm going circle. You can go whatever shape you want. I'm going circle because it's a nice easy shape. There's no corners, so I'm just looking for a circular a circular shape. No, there's no corners. It's going to be just a continuous sewing round of sewing. So you just need something round. This is a tin of needles. Could use that. What else have I got? I haven't got one, but you could use this. I have little teacup. Oh, it's got dust inside. Little teacup. You could use that. You could use that size. Depends on what size you want. Oh, I keep my pens in. You could use. Oh, this fell over. You could use, if you've got a bobbin, you might have a bigger bobbin than that. You could use that. I've got a saucer, but that's probably too big. Ooh, there goes some buttons. I've got a saucer, it's probably too big. But anything round you can find that. I like the size of that, so I'm going to use this. Now I am going to need some kind of template for this to get round, so I am going to use my friction pen to show you how it gets used, and I'm just going to lightly go round. Sorry if you can see my head. I know the fabric isn't attached yet, don't worry, just go over it. Again, just pretend it's part of your fabric. Okay, and draw a circle. I've drawn mine in the middle. You can draw yours off centre, down here, up here, wherever you want. You can go over those, it doesn't matter. I've just drawn mine right in the centre. Okay, so again, shall we have a change of colour? Let's have a change of colour. And do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to do that golden colour. Oh, I've got that actually. Could use that. That's just a one. What's it called? The Perlé. Yeah, let's go for that. So I'm just using one strand of Perlé this time. You can stick with your 2 strands of like your DMC Anchor stranded cotton. It's up to you. You might already be using something completely different like wool. You can use some wool, a thicker crochet cotton or Perlé. It's up to you. There's no rules. You can use whatever you like. So we're going to go round this circle again in a straight stitch. But what we're going to do this time is I'm going to sew on the circle 1 stitch. And then I'm going to go above the circle in line. We're going in line this time. The 2nd stitch. I think I thought I'd knotted it. Let me just take that out. Oh, it's okay. Okay. And you can even do 1 underneath. So you can do 2 or you can do 3. I'm just going to see what 3 looks like. Is it going to be too much? No, that's fine. Okay, so a little bit away, like the length of your stitch that you've already used. So you've used a little bit of a stitch there, and then I've left the same amount. This is more measured, this is, I suppose, but you don't have to. You can do them whatever spacing you want. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going in the middle again, and then I'm going either side. And we're just going to follow the circle round. It's just to make a different pattern, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So there. There. You see this pattern a lot in Japanese stitching. Right, I think this is getting in my way. I was going to just leave it and see how it reacted naturally, but it's getting in my way. So I'm going to clip it off. It's hindering, you see, my stitches as well. Okay, so leave a little bit of a gap. So I'm doing 1 on the line. I mean, this time I'm not bothered about the look of my stitches. Well, I weren't bothered about that, but it's just saving thread. This one, you're going to be wasting a little bit more thread on the back, but hey ho, that's just the way it goes to create this pattern. So in line, 1 over this side. I also haven't spoken about hoops. I don't really use hoops that much. I prefer to just use my fingers, just kind of like straighten my fabric out and do it that way. But you can use a hoop. Now, this is quite a small project, so you need a small hoop. I'm just going to see if I've got a small... I have got one somewhere, but I don't know where it is. that one. So you could use a hoop. I think I might have a smaller one than this, but I don't know where it is. But you could use, if you want, I know some people prefer to stitch on a hoop. And you don't have to go all the way to the end of the fabric. What you can do is, you know, you can leave a bit there. It doesn't matter. But yeah, you can use a hoop as well. But as I say, most of the time I don't use one. But if you feel more comfortable, then it's ideal. You've got to just do whatever you find the easiest and what suits you. My stitches aren't actually that uniform, although they're together, they're not all the same length, but it doesn't matter. And you can go round, I suppose, and just do one and then come back and do the other one. And then the other one on the other side. So you could do 3 circles. You could go around 3 times if you wanted to, and just do running stitch that way, because that's all it is. It's a running stitch. I'm just choosing to do mine all together. Okay, so now we're getting to our fabric. I'm just trying to see where the circle line is. And once we have this fabric attached, I can take the pins out. In fact, that's probably going to have to come out now. I'm going to pop it in here, just so that it doesn't interfere with the stitches. Don't worry about the areas that we've not done yet. They will be done as well. And you don't have to use pins either. You could use a little bit of glue to stick them down, these fabric pieces. What have I got at the moment? I've used Yoo-Hoo before, but I've got Pritt Stick at the moment. But any water soluble glue stick is fine. You can use. It doesn't really interfere with your fabric too much, as long as you know, use it lightly, and it still keeps your fabric soft. But that would just mean they will stick down without using pins. It's just whatever your personal choice is. I've used both before. Okay, so we're off that one and on to the next. So I'm just going to keep going round. I think I've gone and... Okay, if you get a knot on the back, don't panic, okay? Just gently use your needle to lift it up, just see what's going on. What you can do is you can unthread. See what's going on. I have no idea what I've done. whatever I've done, I think I've probably sewn through my thread. I think I might have just solved the problem. There we go. Okay. As long as you're gentle with the knot, you should be able to get it out. Or you can leave it. It's up to you. And when you're using a hoop, you mostly use stab stitch rather than, you know, that kind of thing, if you're doing that kind of thing, just because it's easier to do the stab stitch. But you can do the, you know, stack your needle, but this stitch in particular, you don't do that anyway. It's more of a stab stitch, this is, because it's we're doing 3 stitches. Okay, now I've gone and caught my needle. Done it again, I think. What have I done now? Oh, it's just caught on the fabric. Alright, so I'm just looking at my stitches. They seem to be wandering. Seem to be wandering over a little bit. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to change them, okay? But I can just see that that's what's happening. So I'm just going to rein it in a little bit. There, we're back. I suppose this is a more precise stitch because I'm paying more attention to where I'm putting them, because I'm wanting to create pattern here. And we're going to be coming up to another piece of fabric. Not sure whether this one's going to, this one might attach it. Yeah, there we go. And then just make sure it's flat. I just heard the ice cream van going round because it's like -3. I'm not sure whether I fancy ice cream at the moment. Okay, just getting to that pin. I'm just going to remove the pin. I'm going to just pop it over here. There. Again, a knot, just gently pull it up. Can't actually see my blue line here, but I think it's somewhere there. Okay, I'm just going to move that pin. Okay, got one more on this one. Stab myself. That's that one done, and then we're back on the white. I'm aware that I'm quiet, but I'm just enjoying the stitching, so I hope you are too. And hopefully you're stitching along, having a little bit of me time, peace and quiet. Okay, what to the next piece of fabric here. I think I'm probably going to have to get some more thread coming to the end. So I'm just going to move that pin over because it's going to get in my way. And I'm just going to finish this off and then get some more thread. So again, just through, or if you had really short thread, you just go through with the eye of your needle and do it that way. Okay, let's just grab a little bit more of this thread. Okay, and we're going to carry on. Apologies for the noise. It's my husband, he's come out of his office. Right, so we've nearly completed our circle. Alright, so I'm just looking at this gap and I think we've probably got room for 2 more stitches here. So I'm just going to space them out. Yeah, I think 1 here. And then 1 more in the middle. Perfect. There, so we've gone all the way round with our circle. So we've done the same stitch, but in 2 different ways. You just take the hoop off and they look completely different. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move on from that. In fact, I will just finish off my thread. Okay, that's done. Right, that's a little bit of spare thread that I can still use. I've still got some in here. Oh, look. I could have used that. Okay, so we'll pop those in there. My little Orts pocket, because we're going to do a different stitch. Okay, so now, what colour? I'm just thinking what colour. I think I'm going to go back to the blue first of all, because I'm going to be working on these red fabrics, and I think that'll be the best colour to see. So I've got some thread here. It's already been cut. Right, so I want to attach my fabrics a little bit more than they are at the moment. So the running stitch that we used last week is also referred to as canvas stitch. So we're going to do a little bit of running stitch or canvas stitch on this just to attach these pieces to the page. So I'm going to start a little bit away from my fabric, and just with that running stitch that we learnt last week, again just go over your over the attached fabric as though it's just one piece of fabric. I'm just going to go a little bit further away as well. I'm just losing my thread. Like that. So just a little row of running stitch. And then fairly close to it, a little bit closer than we were doing last week. These are quite far apart. I'm going to do these a little bit closer. You can do them far apart, but I'm just going to do mine a little bit closer. And I'm just going to go back. And go over my fabric, and this will attach my fabric to my cloth. And it just gives a decorative effect. Again, up. Doesn't have to be level. I'm not doing mine level. And then a little bit more running stitch. Okay, I'm on there. Okay. Don't want to go over my gold lines that I've done, so I'm going to put my needle back in, finish that stitch off, and then I'm going to move down and I'm going to come up here. So you can see I've kind of travelled across, but it doesn't really matter that there's a long bit on the side, on that side. And then I'm just going to do more canvas stitch or running stitch. There we go. Finish that one off. Okay. And I'm just going to canvas stitch all of the rest of this loose bit on here. This is about, I think, a couple more rows. Just pull that a little bit too tight. So I think that's about it. I'm just going to try and get another one so you can't see that. Let's get another one in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to want to do this piece as well here. So being as I'm already here, I'm going to go right in the middle, and then I can go either side. So I'm just going to go across. You could do it in a different direction actually, couldn't you? Yeah, actually. Let's do it that direction. Okay, I'm going to do it in the direction that the cloth is going, which is kind of over here. So I'm just going to go this side. I'm going to go over this way. Right, because my thread's getting a bit short, I'm just going to get a new one. What I might do is, where's my, don't even have to stay in the same colour. I could swap. So let's go back to the gold, do a little bit of gold. Oh, in fact, I know I've cut that one, but I'm just going to leave that for a minute because don't forget your orts. I've got bits in here. Let's use these up first. There's even a pink. Let's put the pink on. Get that used up. It's only a small one, so there's only going to be probably 1 or 2 rows of it, but oh. What did I use the pink for anyway? Why have I got pink? Because I used gold on that. I don't know why I've got a pink one. Oh, did I use it for the, I think I know what I used it for. I used it for the binding, did I? Yeah, I did. I used it there. I was just wondering what I used the pink for. Right, this has got a knot that end, so let's try and get it on my needle this end. It's not doing it. I'll be lucky if I get 1 row out of it. Right, like I say, that's got a knot in that one already. Okay, so let's see how we go. Sorry, I'm pulling it towards myself. We get 1 more row. I don't think I'm going to get much more out of that one. So it just adds a little bit of colour. So I've got some more short ones here. Let's use these. take that off now. I don't think we need that one in anymore. You see how we've got a bit of a fold there? It's where whatever it was used for before, there was a seam there, I think. But so there's a kind of like a little fold, or a little crease. But we're just going to work with it, just sew over it. Don't try and straighten it out too much. It just gives us a little bit of an indication of it's already had a history. It's got a history. It's already had a life before. And now it's having another life here. That pin's coming out. Let's get rid of it. I think it'll be okay. Right, it's finished. Okay, let's finish this off. Just moving that one out of the way to start with. If it overlaps, then it can overlap on the top. There, so we've appliqued that one on using a running stitch or camphor stitch. Okay, so we're going to do the same to this one, and then we're going to do something different to that one. So let's do this one first. Again, just a running stitch all the way across it to attach it. And you can go outside and start outside. It's up to you. We'll do a bit of both. I'm loving this gold and red combo with the blue. Alright, let's just see. I don't know if there's an ouch. I'm going to go down to this one now. I'll finish this one off. Okay, it's getting fiddly, so I'm just going to change my thread. Right. Okay, I'm nearly finished with this one. I'll try and get another row in to get this end attached. Okay, let's finish that off. Right, okay, that's all done. Now, I did say to you we were going to do 2 stitches and new stitches, and we've really only done 1 so far with this straight stitch. So we're going to do a cross stitch. We will be going to do more cross stitching, not cross stitch as in counter cross stitch, but crosses in later depth at another page, on another page, but we're going to start doing some crosses. So I'm going to grab another thread. I think I'm going to go for red, because I'm going to work on this piece down here. So I'm going to take 2 strands of red, like that. Now, if you're not confident with this, you can draw your crosses. They're going to be fairly large. They're not going to be tiny. So you could draw a cross, but you can also just wing it. So what I'm doing is I'm starting here. I'm starting right in the middle, just so that you can see. And this is going to be attaching this blue striped thread by a number of crosses. So I'm going to go up there, and then what you can do is you could even just draw some dots in a square. So I'll just draw the other 3, okay, and that's your cross. And then you can go along and you can draw another one there, half on, half off, okay. And that's what we're going to do around this piece. We're going to do crosses. So we're going to go down into that one, up this one here, and down into this one, and that's attaching the fabric. So where I've drawn the dots, that's not where I've drawn the dots, that's where I've drawn the dots. There, 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 and there, okay. And just go along. So I'm going to start here, pretend there's a dot there, over to there, up there, and down there, okay. I'm going to leave that bit because that's already been attached, and what I might do is just feed my thread along those stitches until I get to here. So I'm going to do one here. So up, down, up. They don't have to be perfect at all. Try and catch that bit of fabric, okay. If you want, like I say, you can draw your dots in a square. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And they can be as near to each other, or as far apart as you want. Not too far though, because you won't be able to attach your fabric, but up there and down there. Okay, I'm just going to take that pin out, so that's going to be getting in my way. In fact, I'll take them both out now because the fabric's attached, so it should be okay. So again, just looking at this to see how many crosses. I want a cross here and a cross here. I want 2 more crosses in this. So my first one's going to go here. Again, it's just a form of it's just a form of straight stitch. If you think about it, it's just your straight stitches, but in a cross form rather than a straight form. That's all it is. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go here. Over. Up. I think it looks nice when they're a little bit irregular. Mine definitely are irregular, but I like that. I don't want them to be all the same. I think the red makes a lovely contrast as well. as I'm travelling over my table. Get one in this corner. Catch as much of the fabric as you can on at least 2 of the stitches. Okay, then we're going around. This is a little bit irregular, this piece of fabric is, so I just need to go on a slope a little bit. So over there. One in that corner. I'm just going to try and, the fabric's folding over on itself, so I'm just going to try and catch, I don't know if I've got it or not, but try and catch a little bit more fabric on that one. Okay, one here. Will I have enough thread? That one. Right, I need 2 more. Am I going to get 2 more out of here? I'm going to try. Yep, just. Well, I couldn't have measured that any better, so that's that. Let me just finish this thread off. There. Let's have a quick look. Which way does it go? It goes that way, doesn't it? There, so that's the... I could probably have done with a little one in that corner, but... Let's do one. If you see something you're not happy with, just change it, just do it, because if you're like me, I will be looking at that corner and thinking, I wish I'd have put a stitch in there. So I'm just going to do it, and then I won't have to think about it again. I'll just know that there's a stitch in there, and that's fine. It's probably going to be, why have I done a straight stitch there? Let's try that again properly. There, that's better. And then I won't be thinking, I wish I'd have put a stitch there, because I've done it. Because I always think you're going to be looking at it a lot longer than you are stitching it. So it took me a couple of minutes to do that, but you can look at it for a lot longer, can't you? So that's done. So that is our project for today. Now, if you've done you may have done your own design and you may have used all of your page. I've got a load of space here left over, and it's such a shame not to use it. So if you've got spaces, just give yourself a little bit of needle practice. Do some running stitches to fill up that space. Do some crosses, just some random crosses to fill up that space. If you need, if you feel the need to fill those spaces like I do, just nice to put in a few extra bits and pieces just randomly, and then you can just see, it just means that you can see that design and you might think, oh yeah, I like that design, I'm going to use that in future projects. Just try out the stitches, Don't forget you can do, oh, I've gone and lost my, right, let's snip that off and start again. Another. I'm flitting to and fro here because I'm just having random thoughts, but then I'm thinking, so what I could do is, so I've got 3 crosses there, so what I could do is, because don't forget we did the stitches in line, so I could do the stitches in line here to carry on from the project and practice in a straight line instead of going around in a circle. There, just fills up a little bit of space and it uses up your orts. If you've got any leftover threads, you could use those. It's up to you, but if you've got space in your book, you may as well use it. So I'm going to stop there because I think I've probably been going on for quite a long time now. But yeah, so that's week 2's project anyway. So we've covered straight stitch, we've done the running stitch again, or cancer stitch, and we've done the running stitch in a circle, and we've done some cross stitch as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know how you get on. It's great to see all your pictures in the group, and keep commenting, liking. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. It just means that I appear on your feed, and I get my video out there more. So thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye bye.